We don't talk about power much in our life. Where is the power come from? What is power? Where is it come from? What's the impact of power? We don't think about it much in our life because we used to use power as normal life. And then we think we know it very well. We don't need to talk about it. But actually, power can cause so many things in our life, positive and negative side of our life. It comes from the power around us, especially parents. How to use the power of parents? It will be the mold to carve, to sculpture the kids, how they are going to be. So power is important to think about it. I just talked with my friend. Her name is Oiporn Kearnkaew. She is a co-founder of International Women Partnership for Peace and Justice. We talk about the way we use the power now. It causes so much violence, causes so much problem in people's life, in our society, in everywhere. Because most of people don't know that they're using power in the way that create more violence. For example, parents always use power over kids. And then they don't know they're using the power to make the kids have some problem. But they think they do it because of love. We care for them. We have good intention to make them have a good life. That's why we use power like this. We told them to do like this. We forced them to do this thing. But actually, it causes a lot of damage in people's life. What we talked with Oiporn, our friend, she said there are three kinds of power that we need to know. The first is power over. Power over is a power that is over us. Mainly, the powers over is come from age, come from position, come from duty, come from color, come from color of the skin, come from education, come from money, come from so many things in our life. For example, the teacher told the kid to cut their hair in this way. That's a power over. Because the kid have no time, have no choice to discuss with the teacher why we have to cut the hair like that. Or parents said, you need to go study French in free time, in holiday, in weekend with the tutor, because French language is important. But the kids don't want to go, but parents want them to go because parents think it's good thing for them. That is a power over. So in our life, we very familiar to using power over. Some people who have white skin, they feel higher than darker skin. People who have more money, they have more power. They feel like they have more power than people who have less money. People who have higher rank, higher position, they have power over the lower position. This is the power over that we have. Mainly, people use power over in the name of love and care and hope, good hope for other people. But actually, it causes more damage than good hope, good impact from it. The second power is power sharing. Power sharing is how we use the power by sharing how to make decision. Whenever we want to do something, we always talk, discuss, and then make decision together. This is the way we share the decision or share power. Sometimes if managers have some idea, they just tell staff to do what they want to do. That's power over. But when the managers talk, discuss with staff, and then have an agreement together and start to work together, that's the power sharing. When parents said that you need to go to the camp, like a bird watching camp, because it's so nice to know birds, to know the nature, but the kid don't want to go, but parents force them to go. That's the power over. But if parents talk, do you want to go to bird watching camp? It's good because you can know about the bird, different kind of birds, how they look like, how they live, and then what's the bird have the impact to our environment. If the kid interested about that, they want to go, so they say, I will go. That is power sharing. You discuss and make decision together. That is the way that people not used to it much, power sharing. And the third thing is power within us. It's come from inside us. Like we have more patience than other people. We have strong intention to do things. We have some skill different than other people. So power within is something we develop ourselves inside us. It's important to know different kind of power, and we can look back at ourselves. What kind of power did we grow up with? What kind of power are we using it now with our children, with our people nearby? It's very important to think about that, because mainly we don't think about it. We just think about power over. We think it's normal thing to use power over. So when we use power over, even we have a good intention, we think we do because of love. We want our kids to have a good life. We force them to do that, do this, told them to do that, do this. But the impact of it is it kills imagination of the kids. It makes the kids has no freedom. It makes the kids cannot participate with the decision about their life. So the kids will end up with very low self-esteem or have some aggressive thing to against parents. That will happen a lot. And then when the kids grew up with power over, they don't trust themselves. They don't trust things much. They cannot make decisions easily. They just wait for parents and rely on parents mostly. Or they will be very aggressive against parents, against the system, against everything, because they feel like they have no freedom. They cannot be themselves. That's a big impact of it. Mainly, that's the way I grew up with. So it make me feel shy, feel scared. I'm afraid of everything. I have no self-confidence at all. That's a big problem in my life. That's the way I grew up with power over. But the kids that grew up with power sharing, they have so high self-confidence. They can do things happily. They're brave to do things. Many kids who grew up in this way, they like to do things by themselves. Some kids only 3-4 years old, they can walk to the grocery shop and buy things by themselves. But many kids in that age, that they grew up in the power over families, they're just scared, and parents have a lot of worry. Oh, somebody gonna kidnap our kid, somebody gonna attack our kid, because we did not train them to be themselves. We did not sharing how to use power, so the kid will have no confidence in their life. So I think it's important to think about how to use power with our kid, with people nearby. If we use power sharing, it will help the kids to be very high self-confident, very strong heart. They can make decisions, they trust themselves. I think it's important to make the kids to grow up in that way because they can be themselves, they can rely on themselves. If not, it will be like many Thai kids. Most of Thai kids, they don't brave enough to go anywhere by themselves. Parents always control them, especially women. Most of women, some women 20 years old, they cannot travel alone. They have a lot of fear, a lot of worry, because they have no self-confidence. They don't understand things much. They have no imagination. Most of Thai kids, they just grew up with parents and rely on parents until they are big. They grew up, they have family, they still rely on their parents. That is a big problem because parents have to take care of them all of their life. So that's very hard. And then in the same time, in the country level, if the government use a lot of power over, people will be suffer more, have more violence, people will be more poor, have more problem. But when the government use more sharing power, people will be strong. We have more power, and then they can have a good life. They can make decisions for their own life. The government don't need to work much. That is the way of power sharing will make the good impact to everybody. And at the same time, when we use power sharing more and more, each people will develop power within inside them. If we raise our kid with power sharing technique, our kid will develop their own power within. They create their own skill, they create their own talents to do things more and more and more because they feel free, they have time, they get support, and then they feel like they can design their life. They own their life. Their life is in their hand. That's why they can find what they like, what they want easily, and then they can develop it more and more and more. I think power is important to learn. Especially, we need to have the subject, power subject in the secondary school or the primary school so the kid can learn about power more. If not, we're going to have a lot of problems. Now, the whole world, we have so much violence, so much conflict because of we don't think about how to use power. We use only power over. Most of family use power over with their kids. Most of government use power over their people. That's why we suffer so much. And then we transfer this heritage to the next generation. So violence and then problem will be transferred to next generation too. If we think about it very well, we can stop it now. This is the fun way to live together. Power sharing is very important.